Which teams do you think their stock's rising the most for the year, and which team's stock are you selling for this year?
All right, I'm going to give you a selling first.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see how this is possibly going to work. Like, I don't know how many Jets games you watched last year, but Aaron Rodgers does not look like he wants to play football at all. He looks like he doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to get hit. I know Mike Tomlin's got the big winning season streak going, but I don't see any way how that team's going to be over 500 this year. I just don't think he's got it anymore. I don't think he gives a shit anymore. And that's a tough division. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on
Uh,
the
yeah,
Steelers?
I'm kind of leaning towards agreeing with you there. There is some of that old Aaron Rodgers magic that you always think might make a comeback, and with Tomlin there, kind of Tomlin's always been good at coaching those big personalities, could bring out the best of him. I just think from seeing him physically on the field last year is like that magic's gone. He can still throw a nice ball, but in terms of just moving around, and I don't think he has that great of weapons in Pittsburgh either. Like DK
No,
Met, they got rid of Pickens, brought in Metcalf. Personality wise, I can't see Rodgers and Metcalf really having a lot of rapport there. They just seem like kind of polar opposites. And from just a franchise standpoint, I know they're not going to lose on purpose, but Pittsburgh needs to get away from these 500 records or just above 500 squeaking in the playoffs. Maybe be a shitty for a couple of years, and
yeah.
and they can get back to being the classic Steelers that are Super Bowl contenders every year. They can get back to that point pretty quick.
No, you can't middle forever, right? Like at some point you got to either rebuild or just, shut things down. So, yeah, Steelers for me by they're go on the downward slope.
Well, I'll give you a team I'm buying in low, looking to see a really nice bounce back this year is the 49ers. They only had 6 wins last year. It was just one of those seasons from hell. Everything that could have went wrong did go wrong, but I still have faith in Kyle Shanahan. I think a healthy Brock Purdy, gonna help them a lot. They still have a elite level defense. They're only 1 year removed from going to the Super Bowl. And so I think they still have that top-notch talent. They're in a division that's up for grabs, and they've got a relatively easy schedule. So it just feels like, I'm not saying number 1 seed in the NFC or anything like that, but I definitely see them back in the playoffs. And if they get the momentum going, especially if CMC stays healthy, I could see them potentially making another run to the Super Bowl.